Comfortable seated position at the top of your mat. And we'll just begin with our warm-up stretches. So you have two options to sit. You can sit with your knees bent, feet on the ground, or you can sit with one heel all the way in towards your groin and then the other heel out in front of it. If you find that makes your knees kind of lift up a lot, that just means you have tight hips. So you can place one of those supports underneath. Sitting up nice and tall, draw your belly button in tight towards your spine, roll the shoulder blades back, crown of the head up toward the ceiling, and then when you're ready, we'll start with the neck. Take your right hand to the left side of your head. Carefully bring your right ear to your right shoulder. You can stay just like this or walk the left fingers away. You should feel the stretch in the left side of your neck. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, fill up. And then as you exhale, drop your chin to your collarbone, look down to the right knee, and you can walk the left fingertips away from you. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, drop your chin to your collarbone, make some slow half circles, gently just rocking your head from side to side, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. And then when you're ready, roll your left ear to your left shoulder, left hand to the right side of your head, and then you can walk the right fingertips out. So now you should feel the stretch in the right side of the neck. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it go. One more inhale. As you exhale, drop your chin to your collarbone, look down to the left knee this time, walk the right fingertips away, stretch now transfers to the back right side of the neck. One more inhale. And then exhale, drop your chin to your chest again, interlace your fingers behind your head, start to round your upper body all the way forward, elbows point toward the ground. When your next inhale comes, gaze will lift up past your screen toward the ceiling, arch the spine, and then exhale, round your upper body back forward. Inhale, open up, arch the spine, and then exhale, come back to down. One more time, inhale, this is cow pose, and then exhale for cat pose. And then sitting up nice and tall. So once more, zipping your belly button in towards your spine. Roll the shoulder blades back, crown of the head toward the ceiling. When you're ready, big inhale, lift up all the way, palms meet at the top. Exhale, let it go. Again, inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift up all the way, palms stay nice and high. As you exhale, twist to the right. Your right hand comes behind you like a kickstand. Left hand to the outside of the right leg. You're looking toward the right side of your room. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist the torso. Again, inhale, sit up. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Last time, inhale. Exhale out all the way. Come on, back up to neutral as you inhale. Exhale, take it to the other side. Left hand behind you, right hand to the outside of the left leg. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale, twist out all the way. Come on, back up to neutral as you inhale, and then exhale, let it go. Right hand will plant down, left arm reaches all the way up and over, finding your side body stretch. So you should feel the stretch starting in the left hip, traveling up the rib cage and continuing through the armpit. Always important to have a soft bend in the elbow. We don't want any joints or bones taking the impact. We want your bicep holding your body weight here. Inhale, sit back up, left hand down, right arm up and over. Same idea, have that soft bend in the left elbow here. Inhale one more time. Exhale out all the way, and then inhale to sit back up nice and tall. Great, so grab your strap. If your legs are getting tired, feel free to recross them or adjust the crossing of your legs. Arms come out nice and wide, and then just take a couple of pass-throughs with your strap. So if you find that going all the way back overhead is too much, just go up to head height and then back down. No need to force it. And on the contrary, if you feel like you want to be challenged a little more, your shoulders feel nice and open, make your grip a little bit shorter. Shorter grip makes the stretch a little bit more intense. So we're externally rotating or rotating the shoulders away from the body, which is a really nice way to reverse anything bad that happens from spending too much time sitting, driving, hovering over a stove, any sort of hunching that happens throughout your day. This reverses it. Let's go for two more. Last one, and then come on back to neutral. So now you're going to make your grip about as wide as your knees, arms come up into a letter V shape, and then you're going to bend your elbows to a goalpost shape. So you start off with your elbows and your shoulders in one straight line, and then when you get your configuration here, you're going to then press your shoulders back. So I want you to feel your shoulder blades kissing each other. Shaking is okay, but holding your breath is not. If I were to come around to your homes and place a pencil in between your shoulder blades, you should be able to keep it there. That's that activation. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Give it a little shake. Final stretch here. You're going to place the strap in your right hand. Right arm comes up overhead. We want elbow, shoulder, hip in one straight line. Wrap the left arm around, grab the strap, and pull down. Giving yourselves that nice, juicy tricep stretch. Hold here for 2 more breaths. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, belly button in toward the spine. One more time. And then exhale, let it go. So let's switch to the other side. Strap will come in the left hand. We want that elbow, shoulder, hip connection there. Wrap the right arm around and pull your strap down. Good. 2 more breaths here. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, fill up. And then exhale, let it go. Toss the strap off to the side. Carefully shift off of your blocks and onto your hands and knees in a tabletop position. And in your tabletop, all 10 fingers are facing forward. Tuck your toes into the mat. Spine is nice and flat. Belly button draws in tight. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the hips, look up to the ceiling, cow pose. And then exhale, push your hips forward, look for the wall behind you, cat pose. Inhale, arch the spine, stretch the torso. Exhale, round up through the vertebrae, compress your abs. Take about 2 more here, and then we're going to incorporate a wrist stretch. After your last one, meet back at a neutral tabletop, and then have your fingertips face out to the outer edges of your mat. So if you have sensitive wrists, this might be enough of a wrist stretch. If you feel like you want to take it a step further, rotate both of your fingers to face your knees. It's pretty intense. Give yourselves a moment to figure out if it's too intense. Tuck your toes into the mat, and let's take 3 more cat-cows here. Good, so inhale, drop the belly, lift the hips, look up, and then exhale, push the hips forward. So you should feel like a really nice elongating stretch in the wrists. If you feel any sort of pinching or crunching pain, decrease the angle. After your last cat-cow, come on back to neutral. Carefully let the wrists go. Come on back to a neutral tabletop. Tuck your right toes to the back edge of your mat. Gently start to rock your body weight forward and backward. Feeling that nice calf, Achilles heel, arch of the foot stretch. And then you're going to send your right foot down nice and flat to the floor, like it's a warrior leg. So foot is flat. You're pressing into the sole of the foot. Leg is nice and straight. Bring your left hand directly underneath your face, and then lift the right fingertips up for modified side plank, excuse me. So we want to make sure the left hand is directly underneath your face. That's going to help you balance. And ideally, your shoulders are in one straight line. So you're reaching all the way through your middle right fingernail. You can stay like this, or if you want to take it a step further, lift your right leg up. Pretend like there's a wall right next to you. Maybe there is. If there is, feel free to use it. If there's not, you're stomping into this imaginary wall. So you don't have a lazy spaghetti leg. You have a nice active leg. You're squeezing your glutes, squeezing your quad, pressing out through the foot. Hold it here and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Take a pause. Your right leg is going to stay up. You're just going to drop the right foot to the ground. And now you're going to square your hips off. So both hips are pointed to the floor. A good way to make sure you're squared is that you're squeezing your thighs together. So pretend like there is a check for $1 million in between your thighs. You do not want it to move. So you're squeezing your thighs nice and tight, still keeping that activation in the right side. Belly button draws in a little bit tighter. And then reach your left fingertips forward. So we have opposite hand, opposite leg for bird dog. Inhale, reach forward, kick back. Exhale, knee to elbow, round. Inhale, get long. Exhale, draw it in. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And then exhale, pull it in. Right knee meets your left. Take a little child's pose just to let that go. So just warming up the core a little bit, bringing some more awareness to the spine. And we've got another side to do. You're going to roll forward back to your tabletop position. Tuck your left toes to the back edge of your mat and gently start to rock your body weight forward and backward. Getting that exact same stretch on the left side. Calf, arch, Achilles heel. And then come back all the way, lift your left leg up. From here, your right hand comes underneath your face. You're going to shift your body over to the left, coming into side plank on the left side. So same idea as the right side. Both arms are in like a T position here, stacked on top of each other. Your left leg is super active, pretending like you're stomping on that wall behind you. So glute draws in nice and tight, quad is activated here, pressing out through the sole of the foot. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. You're going to drop the left arm, left leg stays up in the air. Reach your right fingertips forward. Bird dog on the opposite side. Inhale, reach forward, kick back. Exhale, knee to elbow, round. Inhale, get long. Exhale, pull it in. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale, reach forward, kick back. Exhale, pull it in. And let it go. This time, bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes together, heels apart. Sit on top of your heels and then walk your upper body forward for your extended child's pose. So in this child's pose, you're stretching out the tops of the feet, inside of your thighs, lower back. It should feel pretty good. We're down here just for 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale. Exhale that all the way, and then use your inhale to roll forward back to your tabletop position. So from tabletop, we're going to use plank to come to downward facing dog. If plank is ever uncomfortable or just not for you, feel free to take child's pose. So, right leg tucks back, left leg
Dani, your volume has gone down.
Thanks for letting me know. So everyone come onto a plank pose. Don't mean to have you hang out in plank for too long. I apologize. So come back to your plank. Now shift your hips up and back, downward dog. Can we hear me okay? All right, thanks for letting me know, Anna. Downward facing dog. So from your downward facing dog, bend your knees, bicycle out the legs, nod your head yes, shake it no. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. 1 more big inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Hands come to the shin, flatten out the back. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. So from the top of your space, you want about a hip's distance, excuse me, in between your feet. So that's 2 fists in between your feet. And we're going to take a couple of sun breaths here. Inhale, lift up, palms meet at the top. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Exhale at the top. Second one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. As you exhale, lower down. This time you're going to hold on to opposite elbows here in your ragdoll position. Have your head framed by your arms. You're drawing your chest towards your thighs. You can absolutely have a soft bend in the knees here as much as you need. And you should feel a really nice hamstring stretch and lower back stretch. Nod your head yes. Shake it no. Wrap your hands around your waist. Give it a squeeze. Inhale, come on up to stand. We're going to come down 1 more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. As you exhale, lower down once more. So you have the option here. You can come back into your ragdoll position, holding opposite elbows, or you can take your peace sign fingers, wrap them around your big toes. If you can't reach your big toes, bend your knees till you get there. Once you have that nice grip, you're going to inhale, lift your hips a little higher, and then exhale, fold your upper body toward your lower body. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, fold. So just intensifying the stretch in the lower back here. 1 more big inhale. As you exhale, wrap your hands around your waist, give it a squeeze. Inhale, roll up to stand. So making our way to our first vinyasa, come to the top of your space. Inhale, lift up all the way, palms meet at the top. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. As you exhale, plant your hands and step back to your plank pose. So for the first one, I'm going to demonstrate a modified version. You have the choice to modify, go for the traditional, or skip it completely and meet in downward dog. So from your plank, drop your knees to the mat. You're going to shift your chest past your hands, look to the top of the mat, hug the elbows in. You're going to lower to the bottom of that modified tricep push-up. Lift the chest up, baby cobra pose. Take an inhale. As you exhale, push your hips over your knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So let's make an adjustment here in the downward facing dog. I want you to bend your knees dramatically. Rest your belly on your thighs. It's like you're in this pounce position. Keep the connection between your belly and your thighs. Lift your hips up a little higher. Keep that height. Now just remove your belly from your thighs. You can still keep that bend in the knees. So what that adjustment does is it makes a lot of symmetry in your downward facing dog. It creates a straight line from the wrists to the elbows to the shoulders to the hips. One more inhale, fill up. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Hands to shins, flatten out the back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up one vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. We're going to come down one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. So last one I demonstrated modified. Here's the more traditional. From your plank, shift your body past your hands. Hug the elbows in tight. Lower slowly to the bottom of that tricep push-up. Hover for just a moment. Inhale, upward facing dog. So just the tops of the feet on the mat. And then exhale, roll over all 10 toes, downward facing dog. Settling into your downward facing dog again. And let's try that adjustment one more time. Bend your knees deeply. Rest your belly on your thighs. Lift the hips up. Now feel that connection between the elbows, shoulders, hips. Keep that, and now just remove your belly from your thighs, downward facing dog. 2 more breaths here. That adjustment for some of us might force us to stay with bent knees. That's completely okay. What you should be feeling is the shoulders lifting and the spine sinking. One more inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Hands to shins, flatten out the back. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up one vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. So, you're going to want your blocks, I'd say, in the middle of your mat. And then from the top of your space, you're going to take a big step out into like a wide-legged straddle position. So there should be about a leg's distance in between your feet. I want your toes slightly pointed inward, heels slightly out, and then arms come up into your warrior position. So we're moving into triangle pose on the right side. What you're going to do is lift your right toes up, pivot them out toward the back of your mat, and then you're going to bend your knee deeply into your warrior 2 legs first to start. So if you have to separate your feet a little bit, not a problem. Take a second to adjust. You should have your ankle directly below the knee here. Arms are nice and straight. You're reaching out through your middle fingernails, and your left leg is nice and straight, pressing into the sole of the left foot. So let's make our triangle adjustment. You're going to straighten the right leg. If you know that you need a block, you're going to place the block on the pinky toe edge of your foot, so do that now. Inhale, reach as far forward as you can. When you can't get any further, drop the right hand down. Left arm reaches up, triangle pose. So if triangle is really challenging and you need support, absolutely use the block. You should never place pressure on your knee. If the block is not high enough, bring your hand up to your thigh. This is perfectly fine too. You should not be collapsing into that right hand, so test to see where you are. Lift your right hand up. Nothing should really change about the pose. You're pulling in tight through the core and using that left side to lift you up. Same as before in our modified plank, you want to have your arms stacked on top of each other. And you should feel a really nice stretch beginning in the left hip, traveling up through the side body. Hold here for 2 more breaths. One more inhale, fill up all the way. Exhale out completely. You're going to use your inhale and your core strength to lift back up. Arms come back out into that star shape. Now you're going to rotate your right foot back. Arms stay out nice and long. Take a big inhale. Open up the chest. As you exhale, you're going to fold forward into that wide-legged forward fold. Hands come down to the ground. If your hands do not comfortably come to the ground, here's where your blocks come into play. blocks have 3 heights, choosing whichever one's most appropriate. And if you find that your hands are like an inch from the ground, you can shimmy your legs out just a little bit more. That should help you make contact. Whatever you're holding on to, you're going to inhale, press your hands away, open up the chest, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, start to fold your upper body down. So in this wide-legged forward fold, you are absolutely getting that hamstring, inner thigh, lower back stretch. If the crown of your head comfortably touches the ground, go for it. It is absolutely okay to have pressure on the crown of your head. 2 more breaths down here. 1 more inhale. Exhale out all the way. Now your exit is super important. Wrap your hands around your waist, give it a squeeze. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale at the top. Arms come into your T shape. Triangle on the left side. Pick your left toes up. Pivot the foot out. And your toes should be facing toward the top of your mat. And let's start in Warrior 2 first. Bend the left knee. So we want that knee above the ankle alignment here. You should be able to see your left big toe. Arms are straight. Your right leg now, your back leg is nice and straight. You're pressing out through the sole of the foot. From here, straighten your left leg. Inhale, reach your fingertips as far forward as you can. And then exhale, plant your left hand down, either on your block, shin, or quad. If it's comfortable on your neck, maybe play around with your gaze. Look up for the right hand. If that's too much and it's too comparable on your balance, you can shift your gaze forward towards your screen, and the most stability would be gaze down toward the left big toe. So same test on this side as we did on the other. We want to make sure you're not completely collapsing to that left side, so just release your left hand for a moment. Make sure nothing changes about the pose. 2 more breaths here. 1 more inhale. Exhale out all the way. Draw your belly button in tight toward the spine. Inhale to rise back up. And then you're going to pivot the left toes back to your 5-pointed star shape. Now, interlace your fingers behind your back. You're going to try to draw the palms together. Rotate the shoulders away from the body. Knuckles point down to the ground. Roll the shoulder blades back. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, start to forward fold again. Arms come up overhead, giving yourselves that nice shoulder stretch. So your palms might separate a little bit. That's completely okay. Try to keep that interlaced grip. You're externally rotating the shoulders away from the body, just like we did with that strap stretch before. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. When you're ready to rise back up, use your inhale to come on back up to stand. Arms come back into your T shape. You're going to pivot the left toes to the top of your space and take a big step up to the top of your mat. Give that a little shake. So moving through 1 more vinyasa and downward dog before we are on our bellies for the rest of class. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank, choosing the modified or a traditional version or skipping it completely. Well, I'll meet in downward facing dog 1 more time today. Good, so this last downward facing dog hopefully feels a little bit better than the first one. We're here for 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale. And then exhale, drop your knees down to the mat. Knees and feet together. Sit back on top of your heels for a quick child's pose. Let all that go. Keeping your belly glued to your thighs here, your hips glued to your heels. Walk your fingertips forward. Keep your forehead in the mat. 1 more inhale. Exhale out all the way, and then just come on up to sit. So I want you to take your block. We're going to add just 1 more quick quad stretch. So hero pose. In a traditional hero's pose, just to show you from the side, your knees are together, your feet are as wide as the mat, and you're sitting in between your feet. So I acknowledge that some people have knee issues, others quads are really tight. This is super challenging. Not a problem. That's why we have the blocks to support us. So if you cannot comfortably sit your butt in between your feet, take your block, a blanket, a pillow, whatever you need, and place it right in between and sit on top of it. So right away you should feel your quad stretch. If you do have knee issues, by the way, a supported hero's pose is a really great way to keep your quads nice and loose, which in turn then decreases the strain on the knees, right? So if this is comfortable, absolutely stay. If you want more, walk your fingertips back. So the more pressure you place backwards, the more you intensify the stretch. If you feel comfortable enough to remove the block and sit your butt in between your heels, go for it. And then from there, you would drop onto your forearms. And the ultimate expression of this pose is to have your butt in between your feet, you're lying flat on your back, and you have your arms up overhead. 2 more breaths here, then we'll come out of it. 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale to make your way out, you're going to carefully sit up, come on into a tabletop position, remove the block. You're going to stretch your left leg back, rock forward and backward, stretch your right leg back, and then let that go. So we're going to finish on our spines. You're going to bring a block with you. We're just going to do a quick bridge pose to close out class. You're going to lower all the way down to your backs, bend your knees and plant your feet. Walk your heels all the way back towards your butt, and you should be able to shimmy side to side and feel both of your heels. That's how you know you are in alignment with your knees directly above the heels. That's important here. When you're ready to lift your hips up, take your block and place your block right underneath your tailbone. If you don't have a block, blankets, towels, pillows, that all works too. You can just stack them up however high you'd like. So if you are using a block, I have my block on the medium height here. I don't recommend going to the highest height right off the bat. Yeah, that's you. Couple options here. So you can stay in your supported bridge pose. If you would like to intensify this, and only if you have the block on the medium height, you can start to straighten your legs out. So you'll know right away if straightening your legs out is too intense for you. If you feel any sort of a pinch or discomfort, please come back to that supported bridge pose. I don't recommend extending your legs with the block at the highest height. I think that's just too intense. If you have your legs extended and you feel all right, final move is to bring your arms up overhead. So we're creating this supported back bend, a supported arch in the spine. Anytime we are in bridge pose like this, you're rotating the hips away from the body. So our bodies have this like imaginary midline running through them, and activities throughout the day just sort of force our bodies to rotate inward, and rotating outward like this releases all of that pressure that builds up. Take 2 more breaths here. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, you're going to bring your arms back down by your sides. You're going to carefully bend the knees, plant the feet, lift your hips up, remove the block, and then lower your hips back down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourselves a nice big squeeze. Gently rock side to side on the lower back. So you want to bring your knees all the way in towards your chest, and you're basically in an upside down child's pose here. So you should feel that nice lower back stretch, a little bit of a stretch in the hips. And then when you're ready, letting this go, settling into your final pose, Shavasana. So just make sure all of your props are out of your way. Lying down flat on your back, allowing your feet to sort of just splay out to the sides. Arms are down by your sides. Shoulders are plugged into the mat. Release any tension in your face. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your nose. Inhale, fill up all the way. Exhale out, let it go. For the next few moments, just breathe to my count. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Take 2 more breaths on your own. Taking a moment to notice the sense of peace and stillness that you can create for yourselves, and how all it takes is just to be more aware of your breath. If you find yourselves in a moment of stress or restlessness, just begin breathing and counting, and then notice how quickly a shift happens. Take one more big inhale through the nose, have an extra sip at the top, and then exhale out completely. Bring some tiny movement back to your bodies by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Arms reach up overhead and point your toes away, finding a nice long body stretch. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, plant your feet, hug your knees in towards your chest, give yourselves a big squeeze, gently rocking side to side on the tailbone. And then from here, you're going to raise your right arm over your head. Your bicep will become a pillow as you carefully roll all the way over to your right side, giving yourselves a moment to adjust. And then when you're ready, using your left hand to press you up to a comfortable seated position. And you are all done today, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dani.